Guardians? Welcome back to Olympus Alliance. In our previous video, we took our first look at Crow's incredible skill set and the unique mechanics that make him one of the most exciting heroes to arrive in Hero Wars Alliance in a very long time. Today, we're taking the next step. Today, we're going to show you exactly how to build him. Before we begin, though, there's one quick thing we wanted to mention for anyone planning to unlock Crow. If you're looking for a more affordable way to get him, Crow is currently available through the Hub Store, where you can find his soul stones along with additional resources to help you start building him immediately. As always, Guardians, whether you spend money in the game or not is entirely your decision. Here at Olympus Alliance, we never tell you how to spend your resources. Our job is simply to provide the information so you can make the decision that's best for your account. If you're interested, you'll find the link pinned in the comments below. Now, let's talk about Crow. And Guardians, I want to make something very clear from the very beginning. We're not telling you to build Crow because he's the newest hero. We're not telling you to build him because people are calling him the next meta. The meta changes. Heroes rise. Heroes fall. That's Hero Wars. The real reason we're so excited about Crow is much simpler than that. For years, one of the biggest frustrations for many players has been dealing with powerful mage compositions. And yes, Cornelius has always been one of the answers. But the truth is, Cornelius has limitations. Crow doesn't replace Cornelius. He brings an entirely different level of control to those matchups. Instead of simply threatening one mage, Crow attacks the entire magic composition. He disrupts their rhythm. He shuts down their abilities. He controls the pace of the fight. And suddenly, matchups that once felt incredibly difficult become much more manageable. That's why we believe Crow has the potential to become such an important hero. Not because he's overpowered, but because he gives players another tool to finally balance one of the strongest archetypes in today's game. And before we finish this introduction, I want to say one more thing. Many of you have been asking us the same question for months. I'm saving my relic shards. Who should I invest them in? Guardians? We're not going to answer that today, because Crow deserves his own Relics video. But after studying everything they do, and after seeing how they interact with his kit, let's just say, if the in-game testing confirms what we're seeing on paper, Crow's relics have the potential to completely change how this hero performs on the battlefield. But that's a conversation for another video. Today, let's focus on building Crow from the ground up and making sure you get the absolute best out of one of the most impressive heroes Hero Wars Alliance has introduced in a long time. Now that we understand what Crow does on the battlefield, let's build him properly. Crow is a middle line control hero from the Way of Honor, and his main stat is agility. As always, let's start with the easiest upgrade of them all. The Spark of Power. This one is simple. Max it. You're increasing every single one of Crow's attributes, giving him more physical attack, more survivability, and making every part of his kit stronger. There really isn't much to discuss here. Every point invested is valuable. Moving on to his skins. His default skin gives agility. Again, Guardians, this should be your priority. Agility isn't simply increasing one statistic. It increases his physical attack, improves his armor, and strengthens his entire kit because all of his abilities scale directly from his physical attack. You're improving both his control and his damage at the same time. And we already know what comes next. According to yesterday's livestream with Sam, Crow's second skin will be a health skin, arriving through the next season pass. That will be another excellent upgrade, giving Crow even more survivability so he can remain on the battlefield longer and continue applying silence throughout the fight. Now let's move to his artifacts. And honestly, his artifact priorities are very straightforward. First comes the Ring of Agility. This should always be your first investment. Everything Crow does scales from agility. More agility means more physical attack. More armor. It strengthens every part of his kit simultaneously, making it by far the most efficient artifact to upgrade first. Second comes his book. This one gives health and armor penetration. Health is extremely valuable because Crow needs to survive long enough to keep cycling his silence mechanics. But armor penetration is equally important. Remember? Crow isn't only controlling enemies. He's also dealing physical damage. The more armor penetration he has, the easier it becomes to push that damage through enemy defenses, especially against the intelligence heroes he's designed to eliminate. And later, once we start talking about his relics, you'll understand why armor penetration becomes even more valuable. But we'll save that discussion for the dedicated relics guide. Finally, his weapon. It provides a physical attack buff for the entire team. That's always useful. But compared to improving Crow himself, this becomes our third priority. Crow's greatest strength isn't buffing his allies. It's keeping the enemy team under constant control. The faster you strengthen Crow's own mechanics, the more value your entire team receives. Now let's look at his glyphs. Crow has 5. Agility, physical attack, health, armor penetration, and finally, magic defense. Our priority starts once again with agility. For exactly the same reason as the ring. It improves almost everything Crow does. After that comes physical attack. Every one of Crow's damaging abilities scales from his physical attack, so increasing this stat directly increases the pressure he applies throughout the battle. Third, health. Crow cannot control anyone if he's already lying on the ground. The longer he survives, the more silence rotations he performs, making health one of his most important defensive investments. Fourth comes armor penetration. Again, this helps every physical damage skill hit significantly harder, allowing Crow to punish intelligence heroes much more effectively once his silence has already disrupted their gameplay. Finally, magic defense. It's certainly useful. Especially considering he'll often be entering battles against mage-heavy compositions. But compared to everything else, it's the least impactful glyph in his overall build. Our recommendation: bring all 5 glyphs to at least level 40 before focusing on maxing individual ones. That gives Crow a very balanced foundation and excellent value for the resources invested. Finally, let's talk about his talisman. The Talisman of Retribution. This talisman grants agility as its primary attribute. Exactly what Crow wants. And the 3 bonus rolls are all armor. Honestly, I really like this design. Crow already gains plenty of offensive scaling through agility, while the additional armor significantly improves his survivability against physical damage dealers. It allows him to remain alive longer, continue cycling his silence mechanics, and keep disrupting the enemy team throughout the fight. According to the current roadmap, this talisman will become available during the next adventure season, so it's definitely something you'll want to keep an eye on. Guardians? This is how we recommend building Crow. A very straightforward build, but one that perfectly complements everything his kit is trying to accomplish. And we're far from finished. Over the next few days we'll be bringing you everything you need to master this hero. His relics, his best team synergies, his strongest counters, his biggest weaknesses, and of course, the team compositions where Crow truly shines. Because after everything we've analyzed so far, I genuinely believe this is the hero many players have been waiting for. If mage compositions have been your biggest frustration, Crow may finally be the answer. Stay tuned. Stay sharp. Salute and friendship.